Like, if she's asking for it, okay, well, then you go. I understand that. Go for it. Fucking get down to the dildo store at fucking 9 a.m.
Peter.
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the show, and we've talked a lot about Formula 1 in the last couple of weeks, haven't we? And I know there's quite a few fans that love the Formula 1 side of things, but I know there's a lot of dating scenarios, and we're going to talk about a bit of dating. Formula 1 has a 2-week break, so we're going to get into some good dating gossip podcasts here in the next few weeks, guys. We're going to do a recap, actually, of the dating nightmares. As I think most of you know, I'm doing a dating recap at the end of each month to see the wacky, crazy stories that are coming in, and just kind of giving you an idea. Hopefully I'm giving you an idea of where the dating is at, where we're at right now. And I know I've said this quite a lot of times, and some of you are probably maybe sick of me saying it, or maybe not. I've always said this, before we get into it, I've always said this. Coronavirus was a year and a half ago, over a year and a half ago. We all came back out of lockdown, all that shit. And here's the thing. In coronavirus, it didn't hit us the real impact of the dating world. It's only when you get back out into the normal world and the reality of what we should be used to, that's when you see the real impact. I kind of compare it to, like, it's like going to the gym, right? You go to the gym, you work out, you know, you're tearing the muscles because you're trying to build them, but you don't feel the tear in the gym. You feel it after the gym. Do you know what I mean? The impact comes afterwards, not when you're in there. So in coronavirus, we didn't feel the impact just right there and then as yet. It was afterwards. It's always the after effect. And this is the real coronavirus. But I think we're gaining ground here, guys. What I've seen here is, now we're going to go show you some wacky fucking stories here in a second. I mean, and there's some people out there that are still horrible as fuck to each other. I think there's a lot of people that are still stuck in remote working right now. And they've never left coronavirus. I'm telling you, if you're remote working, it's death to you, honestly. It's social death. Now, maybe there's some of you out there, of course, well, sorry, not maybe. Of course there's some of you out there that you're pushing yourselves, you're getting out there and you're okay. But what I'm seeing here is a lot of people at remote working, and I'm trying to get to the root of the problem here. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why are people so lazy right now when it comes to dating? Why are people being so nasty to each other? I mean, some of these stories, guys, it's fucking unreal. Now, you could argue, yes, of course, there's people like that before coronavirus, during coronavirus, after coronavirus, that they're nasty anyway. Of course. But I just think there's a lot of people that are just wound up, man. Wound up. And, you know, if you can get out of remote working, get your ass out of the house. I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to order you, by the way, but I'm telling you guys, it's not good for anyone. Like, I even spoke to this lady there a few weeks ago, and she's a real social butterfly, this girl. Or a couple of months ago, sorry, because I was mentioning her on my other podcast a few months ago. Real social butterfly, this girl. Loves the booze, loves the parties, all that. And we were having a quick chat. So I asked her, I said, what did you think of remote working? And she said, oh, I loved it when I was in remote. I went, really? And I said, you know, like, because you're a social butterfly, you know, and I said this to the girl. She goes, yeah, I know, but I just kind of, you know, I got nice and relaxed, and I was in my tracksuit, or, you know, my sweatpants tracksuit, just nice and cozy at home, having a cups of tea whenever I want. And then she said, but the funny thing, Peter, is when I actually came back to work, it just hit me like a lightning bolt that I went, oh my God, what the hell was I doing at home? And she realized, oh my God, I need to be in the office. I need to be in the fucking office. And she never went back to remote working since. So it just goes to show you guys, like, this girl is a social butterfly. And I think what happens is you accept what you're in, you know, and you make the best of it, you know, and I don't blame anybody. You make the best of what you have. But it was only until she changed things up that all of a sudden things changed. So, okay, anyway, guys, let's get to it. This is going to be quite a bit of fun. Let me tell you, I'm just going to split my screen here, guys. Bear with me now. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to show you, this is my TikTok here. I'm just doing it on my desktop. So, let's start off with, where do we have it? Oh, yeah, here we go. If you want to check it out, guys, it's on my TikTok anyway. So, excuse me, this guy, I mean, this story, guys, right at the start of September, this made me lose my faith in humanity when I heard this story. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So, two girls, guy and girl, they're talking, they match, and he's chatting away to her. And by the way, this is for both guys and girls that think that this is very keen in a relationship. So the guy is chatting away to her, and he's one of those texters where he texts three, like let's say he breaks up his messages. So I think we've all been there where somebody sends you one big long message, and look, you know, let's be honest, we all kind of go, oh Jesus Christ, there's a lot of reading here, you know? But you know, we'll still read it or whatever. But this guy, his approach is, okay, instead of sending one long one, I'm going to break it up into three. So he breaks it up, he sends the first, 10 seconds later he sends the second, and whatever, 10, 15 seconds later he sends the third. Now this is all in one time lapse here, guys. So in other words, I don't know how long it took exactly, but let's say it took him 1 minute or 1.5 minutes altogether to type out the whole thing. But in that 1.5 minutes, he sent all three messages. So it's not like he sent three messages spread out throughout the whole day. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at nighttime. No, he just sent them one after another. And the girl comes back and she says, listen, I know you're very keen. And he's like, what? And she thought he was very, very keen and desperate because he sends 3 long fucking messages. Like, they're having a conversation. By the way, here's the context. They're having a conversation about something, right? He didn't want to tell me, but they're actually getting into a conversation. So he's given his point of view where they're almost kind of having a bit of a debate about it, he said. So that was cool, you know, a nice healthy debate, a bit of banter, a bit of back and forth. All good. And then she comes back with that. Now, is she just bluffing him and she's got a boyfriend or husband in the background? Maybe. Maybe. Does she just had no interest in the first place and she was like, whatever, fuck off, who cares? But if this is true, that she actually thinks he's too keen, she even said the words, by the way, guys, listen, you seem too keen. Where are we going? Where are we going? I genuinely thought that this story was a joke. I thought it was a joke. And maybe it is. Sounds legit to me though, because what he was talking about, and I obviously didn't put in the whole thing into social media because it's too long. But where are we going here? And you know what I think is going on? Is that I think the psychology part of this, if you break it down. Number 1, she was interested in him. Number 2, she was getting a bit nervous. And she was getting a bit scared that, I could like this guy, I could really like this guy. And subconsciously, she decides, you know what, fuck it, no, I can't handle this. She got spooked, she got scared, and she has to, subconsciously, probably without her even knowing, she just had to, you're too keen, you're too keen, you're too keen, you're too keen. So she has to make up some scenario to put it back on him, and it's all him, and he's this and he's that. But actually, really, at the end of the day, she's just scared out of her fucking mind. And I know guys and girls can be both scared, alright, so I'm not picking on anybody here. She got spooked, subconsciously, and she just, in a delusional way, made up some fucking weird scenario. Right? Picked at anything. So, and I think that's an important thing to address, guys, because I think a lot of times that sometimes we think, oh my god, is she this picky, or what the fuck did I say? You know, a lot of these scenarios, it's not about us, it's about them. And where are they coming from? It makes sense if you break it down. Why would anybody jump to that conclusion? It sounds nuts, right? Well, is it? I've always said this. If something doesn't make sense, it's only because you don't know the motivation of that person. You don't know what they're up to. You don't know what they want. We assume that they want to be in a relationship with us, or they want everything to be nice and pie and everything's all cuddly wool and cotton wool. Great. But maybe they don't. There's plenty of people out there with the motivation to burn and destroy people, like. Plenty of people out there. So, I mean, it was hilarious when I heard the story at the start, but, you know, I don't want to get too serious today. We'll keep it nice and relaxed. So, okay, so that was the first one, and let me tell you guys, like, that's just fucking nuts when I hear this shit, you know? And I think it's very important for us guys to be very self-aware. Honestly, self-aware. Self-awareness is everything, because if I was that girl in that scenario, and if I was self-aware, I'd be like, oh shit, Peter, are you getting fucking freaked? You see, then you'd be able to handle it a little bit better. You can understand, okay, right, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, guys, we're all twisted in our heads. We've all got fucked up issues in our heads, spinning around our heads every goddamn day that we gotta understand. But as long as we understand it, it's most important. Anyway, so the next one, I was talking about some people are taking a break at the moment. I honestly don't blame them. It's tough out there at the moment on dating apps. Here's what I was saying, that make sure you log out. That's right. Sorry guys, I'm just checking my my post here. Okay, so guys, here's a pointer here, right? If anybody is taking a break from Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, POF, whatever dating app that you're on at the moment, if you are taking a break, make sure that you log out of each one. Make sure you log out before you delete the app. Here's why. Because the algorithm will go against you if you don't. So there's a kind of a fail-safe in these dating apps, I'm pretty sure anyway. Maybe I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that they see somebody log out like, oh shit, where's Peter gone? Where's Peter gone? All of a sudden, you come back to the app a couple of weeks later and they reward you with a couple of matches. At least you get seen. So make sure you log out, then delete the app. That's what I would say to you guys using Tinder, Bumble, whatever you're fucking using, okay? Make sure that you don't just delete it straight off the bat. I think that's very, very important for your use on dating apps. Okay, let's see, what else did we have? Wimpy men always get dumped. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, now guys, this is a fucking horrendous scenario. This is, Jesus Christ. So if this story is true, this girl emails in and she says that she was out with her boyfriend one night and a group of guys were actually taking the piss out of this girl. Now, total scumbags for doing this in the first place. Who the hell do these guys think they are? There's a couple and there's a group of dickheads like making fun of a girl. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Now, maybe something else happened. I don't know, but there's no excuse for that. You don't just start ganging up as a bunch of guys, like making fun of a girl in front of her boyfriend. What the hell? Where are we getting with this? Where are we going where it's cool and tough to start mocking a couple when they're out in public? And here's the problem. The guy didn't stand up, or he didn't jump in. And you know what? I'm always going to say it. I don't give a fuck. Maybe this isn't old school. This is what men should morally do. You jump in for your girl. I would have thrown fucking punches at these guys. I don't give a fuck. Now, maybe not throw punches instantly. I certainly would have confronted them. Hey, what the fuck, assholes? Is everything okay? Go fuck yourself. If it got really bad, I would have swung punches for my girl. Because you know what happens in these scenarios? And I think it's an important one to address, because it's a really tough scenario for a guy. Like, I'm a type of guy now. I go out at nighttime. There is 0% that I want to get into a physical fight with anybody. I have absolutely 0% interest in picking a fight, getting into a fight with anybody, taking out my anger on anybody. You know, I don't want to be doing this. But I tell you, if I'm out with my girl and this scenario happens, like, this is just going to lead to resentment. If Peter doesn't jump in, because he just wants to, you know, well, let's just ignore them, this and that. She's gonna go home, she's gonna think about this, and it's gonna fuck with her head, and quite honestly, I don't blame her. It would fuck with my head if I was a girl, or if there was a guy, you know, if there was someone that could stand... No, I wouldn't be... Sorry, I'm talking shit. I wouldn't be looking for anybody to stand up for me. I can choose my own fights and battle my own fights. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to put myself in this scenario, guys. My apologies. If there was a scenario where somebody could have jumped in for me, in any kind of scenario, whether it's physical or just a verbal fight, well, I'd be like, oh, well, thanks for having my back, dickhead. Like, I'm not thinking very highly of that person. And I tell you, especially, and it's more intense, I think anyway, when it comes to a relationship, if a guy doesn't jump in and stand up for his girl, like, I even think, well, even if the girl says, oh no, look, honey, forget about it. Even if he doesn't, and he goes, okay, honey, I won't. That girl's gonna go home and go, oh, well, he backed off easy there, didn't he? Or what if he doesn't jump in the first place? Is the girl gonna really have respect for you? What happens if it happens the next time? Is he gonna have my back? I mean, let's go back to our DNA here, guys. You know, we're meant to be the cavemen and protect, take care of, provide for the woman, where the woman takes care of the family in the background. Like, this is in our fucking DNA. We can't ignore it. It is in our DNA, embedded into us for what, millions and billions of, or whatever however we've been along, millions of years. So guys, you know, it's a tough situation to go into because maybe you're not the type of guy who wants to get into a fight. Or, look, you gotta jump in. You gotta stand up for her. You'll be the fucking... Even if she's like, no, Peter, no, don't go. You fucking go anyway, man. Because that's fucking taking a stand. That's fucking being a man. That's balls. Even if you get your ass whooped. Fuck it. Fuck it. Now, I'll give you a scenario here. Funny story. I had a girlfriend, what, 6 years ago, and we were outside this pizza restaurant, fast food pizza, and I was waiting outside. She's getting a few slices of pizza, so I see this guy inside, and he calls my girl a fucking bitch, and I actually catch it at the perfect time. I went, whoa, whoa, whoa! I ran straight the fuck in, and she's trying to tell me, oh no, okay, easy. I'm like, no, fuck. And I asked your man to step outside. Here, come on out of here, asshole. Now, I was really drunk, and he comes out, and I was like, okay, so what the fuck's going on here, buddy? And I'm ready to fight, guys. Of course, problem is, I got punched in the face, dropped like a I don't know, a sponge right to the ground. But the point is this. Now look, number one, I was locked drunk. I couldn't open a door for you. But still, the point is this. Whether I won or lost, or... It's not about winning or losing, but, you know, whether I put him on the ground or he put me on the ground and he put me on the ground, the point is this. You go down swinging, guys. Go down fucking swinging. And there was no regret in the back of my head the next day. There was no, oh, fuck, I lost. No, because I stood up to him. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you get pummeled or you pummel the other guy or you get hit or he gets hit, whatever. Go down fucking swinging, boys, because I'm telling you now, you feel like a fucking hero. And everybody was all over me after that happened, and I'm not joking you. She thought I was a goddamn hero. Didn't matter. She literally thought I was a goddamn hero afterwards. She was all over me because the fact that I jumped in and I was there to try and protect her anyway in this scenario. Couldn't with too much drink in me, but I was there to try and do it anyway. Always go down swinging, guys. Very fucking factual on that one. This is a great one. Like, if she's asking for it, okay, well then you go. I understand that. Go for it. Fucking get down to the dildo store at fucking 9 a.m. Next one. Desperate guy buys a dildo for a girl. So they're chatting for a few. Hang on, I'm just having a look there now. They've been with each other for. Let's see. They've been with each other for about 3 dates, and the guy ends up after the 3rd date buys a dildo for the girl. Oh god, sometimes it really does pay to get out of bed, I swear, I'm telling you. Like, guys, if there's any dudes listening to this, don't buy a dildo after 3 dates. Like, this guy, he didn't have sex for a while. He thought, you know, I gotta keep pushing this. I can't back off. In fact, I've got to go even further. Like, I like his method and his madness, the way his brain is working, but not in this scenario. Not in this. Guys, don't buy a dildo after 3 dates. Now, unless you're dating, like, an outrageously horny woman, well, then I can see it. Alright, okay, fair enough. And she's asking for it? Like, if she's asking for it, okay, well then you go. I understand that. Go for it, fucking get down to the dildo store at fucking 9 a.m. and be ready to fucking lock and load, baby. But no, you don't go off buying a dildo. Like, who is this guy? Jesus fucking Christ. And his reason was, she was like, what? She goes, yeah, well, like, you know, I just thought we'd mix things up, you know? Like, it's been a while, and maybe we can just, like, because it's been such a while, maybe we can really have a great time this time. I mean, where did we get this fella? Where did we get this guy? I don't know. Man, I mean, did this guy have a dildo already? And he just sterilizes and washes it with soap every girl he has? Or, like, but then again, I don't see this guy being some sort of James Bond type if he's pulling out a dildo after three dates. Like, even if he pulled out the dildo as he's getting it on with the girl in bed, okay, like, things are really heating up between them. She's getting a bit kinky, he's getting a bit kinky back, and all of a sudden then one thing leads to another, then the dildo whips out. Well, okay, maybe you can understand that part, but this guy wasn't even in bed with her. He was texting her, telling her that he had the dildo. Like, oh god. And can I say this one thing too? If a girl gets this shit on her plate, she's gonna tell her friends, guys. She's gonna tell her friends. And the worst part is, if you see her in a bar afterwards, she's probably going to point you out to her buddies, and she goes, oh, that's the guy, dildo guy. And the girls are going to be going, are you serious? Yes. And they're all going to be putting their head down, laughing their bollocks off, trying to keep their fucking thing in, and it's going to be so goddamn obvious anyway. And you know what? Like, this guy's fucked then. This would get around the village, town, city, wherever he is. This shit gets out fast. You know, this word gets around fast. Oh man, I hope he, you know, I don't know, man. I hope he's gonna be all right. I hope he learns from this. You know, because if this is what women have to put up with, I mean, I gotta say, well, like, my heart does go out to a lot of women in certain scenarios, like the dating stories that I hear. You know, hands in the air here. I gotta admit, some of the stories I hear are fucking unbelievable. Now, on the other hand, some of the stories I hear from the boys are unbelievable too. So, like, guys, both men and women, we're having a fucking horrendous time with some people, you know. There was an interesting one too, actually, what came in. This guy was going on a date. He was asking 1, 6, or 12 roses. But I was like, they've seen each other 5 times. They're going on a dinner for the Monday night. He wants to get her a rose to kind of bring things forward. Fair enough. Does he get 1 rose, 6 roses, or 12? Now that's an interesting one. I'd like to hear some feedback from the ladies on this one, actually. Because I think how many do you get on on your 5th date? And I mean, I do remember this one guy here a couple of months ago. He was asking me, hey Peter, I'm going on a first date. Should I bring along some flowers or a gift? I went, whoa, buddy, whoa, no. Now I gotta hand it to the ladies. Like, I thought the women would be like, oh my God, get a load of this fucking loser. But actually there was quite a lot of women actually who liked it. And hey, Jesus, you know, I'm the guy in this situation, so I can't speak for a woman on this part, and fair fucks. Because I tell you, if I was a woman in this scenario, or, do you know what? Here, no, I'm going to even keep it as a man here. Me being a man, and if a woman brought me a gift on a first date, I'd be freaked out. I really would. I can understand where a woman would appreciate it more than a man on a date. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not saying anything bad that women like it. Not at all. No, not at all. Not at all. I can just see where a woman would appreciate it more. Whereas, if you're like a typical man, we'd probably run a mile if we had this scenario. But okay, look, guys, if there's anybody out there, and if you're going on a first fucking date, or you're on a third or fourth date, you see, it depends on the girl too. If you want to play it safe, I would bring one red rose. Because one red rose can mean a lot too. Sort of that kind of scenario where it's less is more, and it can mean more. So if you're having a bit of doubt, I would just go with the one rose. I think it's a good thing to do. Do you know what I mean? But hey, that's my opinion, but hopefully that helps you guys if you're going on a first date, okay? So let's have a look at any more now. She's quite a few more from this month. Oh yeah, bald men. By the way, bald men out there that are listening. You know, I put up a post here because one guy was very, very conscious about his bald head. And by the way, for any of the ladies that are out there, if you have some bald friends, bald single friends, you've got a bald brother, a bald uncle, dad that's single, tell them this. Tell them that there's so many women, and if you don't believe me, ladies and gentlemen, go to my TikTok or any of my social profiles, find this post, share this to all bald men. There's 15,000 people that viewed it. You should see the likes and comments and shares. So this isn't coming from me, this is coming from the audience here. I asked the audience. So many women love it. So many women love it. And I have to say, like, you could see now in fairness that there was a couple of bald guys that do follow me, and they did jump in and they said, oh, actually, I have to admit, this does make me feel better. Which, by the way, I'm delighted, guys. Thanks. And no, don't thank me. Like, don't really thank me. Thank yourselves, you know? Like, just go for it, guys. Just fucking go for it. If you really like a girl, get in there, boys. Get in there. So, if anybody's feeling a bit conscious about getting bald, well, check out my video, because that should absolutely 100% make you feel better. So many women love the bald. Now, hey, listen, of course not every woman, right? But you know what? There's some women out there that don't like a man with a big head of hair. Or not necessarily not like him, but they just, no, they like the bald guy. And there's a lot of women out there that actually just prefer 100%. No, I like bald guys. That's it. That's my cup of tea. You know? So, like, I would never rule it out, guys. Never rule it out at all. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have? Oh, well, you should maybe check out my holiday from hell, even though that wasn't dating, but Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, I even had, my shoes robbed down at the poolside, and I had to go down in my bare feet in a taxi down. I was in Kusadasi in Turkey. I had to go down in a fucking taxi, bare feet, go into a store, literally a runner's store, shoe store, in my bare feet, everybody laughing their ass off at me. Jeez, well, anyway. I did a podcast on that, and actually the do's and don'ts of going to Kusadasi, guys. And I should check it out, because this is stuff that I'm hopefully giving you pointers based on what I made as a mistake. So I was making mistakes, so learn from my mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you don't get stuck for it. So maybe check that out. Speed dating experience, quite a few, that was an interesting one. Quite a few people actually have gone on speed dates. It's not working right now, speed dating. It's not working. I think there's so many people trying to, I wouldn't say reinvent the wheel, but they're really trying to come up with something new. Now, speed dating isn't new. It's not. Dating pages, dating sites, dating groups, they're all not new. Now look, check out my Facebook groups, guys, and this isn't nothing new, by the way, here. This isn't me trying to sell you on it. I hope that you basically do get a date from this. The only thing I have going, and it is working well, there's been quite a lot of success stories from this. In my Facebook dating groups, the old school dating, just put that in and there's 5 different groups to choose from. And they're private groups. And the best thing I've seen from it is that if somebody does post in the groups, you go to the top of the page so people do actually see you. There's no algorithm working against you. Alright, so anyway, I'm not here to try and sell that all to you today, guys. That's the last of my desire now at all. But look, check it out if you want, and I hope you do get a success story. And let me know if you do get a success story, because I like to hear, you know, it's always nice to hear that. Okay, so what else do we have? So, girl, okay, this is a good one. If you're on a date with somebody, and they've got bad breath, what do you do? Uh-oh. That's not good, right? No, that's not very good. And we're going to leave it here at this one now, guys. But scenario. And look, guys, this is a bit of pointers for you. And coming from a guy, especially if this happens to a woman, this is what I would approach for a man. Girl and guy go on a date. Before the date, they're chatting away grand. There's cool banter on their WhatsApp or Facebook, wherever they're talking. And she gets there. Apparently he's hot, he's gorgeous, great banter, great charisma. He's really bad breath. And she was even put off and she went, Christ, what am I going to do? So she emails in, she asks the audience. Audience is trying to tell her. And in fairness, and appreciate the audience, I love you guys. Love you all for all your feedback. It's fantastic. And she's just wondering what to do. Well, look, guys, it's a simple fix. And I know this can be a hard thing to bring up with somebody on a date. I get it, believe me. Like if I was in this situation and if I had to tell a woman that she's got bad breath, I'd be like, oh God, how do I do this? How do I do this? But I do know the answer. You've just got to come out with it straight. And put on the kid gloves. Give him the softy approach. Give him the hard approach, whatever you think. But there's no easy way to say that you've got bad breath to anyone. But look, you're also doing yourself a favor, him a favor, and more importantly, anyone else that he encounters, even for business or anything. I mean, he could be going into business meetings and people are just like, oh my God. I mean, you could lose a fucking contract, a negotiation, a deal over this guy's bad breath because, do you know what, lads, we'll pick with the other one. It's just as good. I can't sit in the fucking same room as this guy. Do you know what I mean? And I'd understand that too. So, just tell him straight out. And if anybody's wondering, okay, well, what would you say, Peter? Well, I would just say, hey, look, Peter, can I just say, I'm loving this day here, but can you get some chewing gum? Yeah, you look sorry now, but your breath is a bit, yeah. Like, if some girl said that to me, I would not be taking that personally, and I know that for a fact. Because people can get bad breath every now and then. Right? Now, maybe it's a deeper issue that he has, maybe. Or maybe her, the girl, whoever. But it's a quick fix. Go to the shop, get some chewing gum, problem solved. Unless there's a deeper issue, well then, but still, the chewing gum will help. So ladies, don't never hold back, especially if you like the guy. Now look, if you're in a scenario where you're dealing with this guy and you don't like him, and then, you know, the final thing is oh Christ, he's got bad breath, man. Well then, and then obviously that's the clincher, well then obviously, fine. You know, that's the perfect out for you or perfect out for a guy. But if you do like the guy, don't hold fucking back. Sometimes you gotta be cruel to be kind. And this isn't being cruel to be kind. This is actually being kind. You're doing the guy or girl a fucking favor. You know? Like, even if a girl said to me, oh, Peter, like, oh, you stink of sweat. I'd be like, oh, I know, I'm very sorry. Or, it's a quick fix. Shower, job done, deodorant on, bang, off I go. You know what I mean? So please, guys, never ever hold back on this stuff. Do you know? It's not good. It's not good. Oh, and sorry guys, I missed one last thing here. So, before we round us up today, the podcast, the other one I was going to say is that a couple that don't sleep with each other. Oh, well, this is a fucking minefield in its own, I can tell you. I had this problem, guys, before. I had an ex-girlfriend. She used to say she didn't really sleep well in a bed with another guy. Total bullshit. Now, maybe there's some people out there that don't, and maybe you can't sleep in the same bed as somebody else. What I would say to you, though, if you really like somebody, number one, you give it a go. And if you do keep waking up in the middle of the night, or he does, or whatever, well then maybe review things. But you don't go straight to your default, oh, I can't sleep in the same bed as somebody. That's total bollocks. And that's when I would call somebody's bluff. Because guys, I got caught out. I was dating I'd gone out with a lesbian. She was in the closet pretending. And that's what happened for me. So if it happens to any girl or guy out there, if they don't, this is the warning signal for you. If they don't, try it. Then there's a good chance that person is gay or lesbian. And I'll tell you why. Because if you really like somebody and you're straight, you'll want to jump in the bed and be with them and cuddle and this and that or whatever. Here's the other one on the other hand. If you don't try it because you naturally go to your default, oh, I just don't sleep I don't sleep right with people in bed. Like, you don't even give it a shot. To me, that's a big red flag, guys. Massive fucking red flag. Why wouldn't you want to fucking jump into the bed with a person? For God's sake. You know what I mean? I wouldn't accept any of that bollocks. Any of that bollocks. And this isn't me coming from a place of hurt, guys. Not at all. I mean, it did hurt back in the day. I mean, we're going back 5 or 6 fucking years ago, so I'm well over that. But it was a great lesson for me, though. And I'm being serious. It was a great lesson, a great experience for me to actually see, well, hang on a second, what the fuck? She doesn't want to sleep in the same bed? It was so alien to me because I'm a straight guy that wants to sleep in the same bed as my girlfriend. Very simple. There's no rocket science here. So that's what I would say, guys. If they don't even want to try it out once or twice, I would seriously consider perhaps they're gay or lesbian. If they do try it out, but then you can't sleep in the same bed as each other, well then, that's a different scenario. So I hope I'm making sense, guys. And yeah, we're going to leave it there. Dating nightmares of... of September, huh? My God, the year's flying, guys. Jesus Christ. So we'll obviously come back again next month, at the end of the month. Obviously, plenty more podcasts during the next month, of course. But we'll definitely come back with Dating Nightmares, the October recap at the end of next month. So, guys, thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Ta-ra!
Peter.
Walsh.